只有共赢才是真正的赢家。
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Success Together System Founder, Circle of Excellence 4, Mr. Rayne. Good afternoon to all New Skin business partners and our ST brothers and sisters. How are you doing today? Fantastic or more fantastic? Yeah, I think I see a lot of new faces over here yesterday, last night. Can I have a show of hands that how many of you see me for the first time? See me for the first time. I can see you, if you put up your hands. I think we have quite a number of new friends. Can we give all these new friends a warm applause? I think the rest of you who do not put up your hands, I suppose that we are old friends, right? Can all the old friends, can you put up your hands? Say hello to me. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Right, it's been 4 years, a good 4 years that we haven't had a chance to get together, right? You enjoy yourself for the last 1.5 days? Yes or yes? I think so, right? Especially for last night, right? Of course, today, this afternoon, I'm not going to take off my shirt. No expectation on that. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, because we just finished our lunch, right? I hope that you don't get vomit if I take off my shirts. Anyway, I think thank you very much from the invitation from System. I think I have not speak for almost like 3 years or 3 or 4 years for ST convention already. If I could remember, I think the last one with the last 3 years, yeah, 2020, 2021, 2022. I just recognize that I haven't been speaking online, even for online convention for the last 3 years. And this is the first time that I speak on the big stage after 4 years. So if you ask me, right, am I nervous? Yes, very nervous. Been 4 years. As I was preparing for my slides, I was just looking back the history, right, the memories they have created together for the last 23 years. It's really very exciting, right? I hope that for those of you, right, who came for the first time, you were not too overwhelmed by all this, right? But I think that this is part of our culture, especially for last night. We see a lot of life being transformed, right? I just heard from our IC, our charity IC, right? Till about an hour ago, we've helped to save more than 180 children. Just a short, less than 2 days. Thank you very much, right? Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So today I was actually invited to speak about the business vision, right, for our industry, for our business. In fact, as I look back for the last 23 years, right, I'm blessed to be part of this platform. Those years, 23 years ago, I think that nobody heard of us, right? Nobody heard about this industry, and nobody heard that, this industry potentially created so many professionals. This morning, right, we've seen that we have a lot of health practitioners, right? People from medical industry, pharmaceutical industry, they're actually involved in the business. This was almost like unheard of 22 years ago. Am I right? Right? Most of the time, you realize that, including for the new people, right? You may think that this industry is probably for those people who cannot make it in life, right? They probably cannot find a proper job. They don't have a good profession. That's why, they came involved in this business platform. But today, right, in our environment, if you can see that, in fact, there are so many professionals involved in the industry. The reason why that I'm not able to speak for the last 3 years is because that we just have too many talents in our system, in our group. So I have no chance. I have to queue up. So this time round, because it's physical convention, I volunteer myself. Because if I don't volunteer myself, I have no more chance. Okay, thank you very much. Well, I think I'm going to start off my story, right? I think many of you probably heard my story before, but I think for a lot of new friends, probably do not know, right? So just want a quick recap. I think I stand here, in fact, representing every one of you, not just because I'm better than you. It's just that, I saw the vision, right? I worked very hard, right? The outcome that I have today, I know that it will be a future. So in fact, I started off, right, building this business, wanting to make money. Just want a quick check over here. How many of you are interested in making money? Can you put up your hands? Some of you did not put up your hands. That means that you must have a lot of money already. Right? It's not that we are money face. It's just that I think we need money to survive. We need money to survive, right? Am I right? Yeah, so like most people, right? In fact, back then I was 28 years old. Now as I look back, looking at the past photos, I realized that, I actually involved in the industry for 23 years. Right? This year, standing here, I'm 51 years old. So next couple of months, 2024, I'll be 52 already. Right? So in fact, I think I stand here as the testimonial, right, as the success stories for this industry, right? So I just want to make money, make a living, right, and wanting to have a career, a profession, without me knowing it that, right, we are able to influence so many lives. In fact, I was born in a small village. I think the introduction video did mention, right? I was born in Malaysia, one of a very small fishing village in Malaysia. Then after which, I went to Singapore to further my studies. And that's where, right, I was stuck there. Yeah, so this is my photo, right? As you can see that together with my dad, as I was preparing for this convention, right, I recall back the last convention that we had was ST19. Right, for those of you who attended the ST19, you know that my dad was there, right? So that was the photo that I took together with my dad. That was about 4 years ago. In fact, right, I always say that he's my chairman. He's the chairman of my company. Every year, right, he come to the yearly convention to check. Right, to check. And also, I think for a good many years, 10 over years, that for some of the old leaders, right, more senior leaders probably can witness that. He came every year, right, for the convention, to join us together, to celebrate together, to enjoy together, right? But of course, today he cannot be here. During the COVID period, he was infected. COVID, right, itself a little bit get worse. But of course, anyway, it's aging problems. So today, even though, right, he cannot attend this convention, but because of technology, I know that he's watching right now, live, online. So I want to thank our crew, right, at the back, the IT staff, to make this possible. Otherwise, I don't think that this is ever possible. Thank you very much. So that was me, just like any one of you, very ordinary when I first started, right, as a newborn baby. I grew older through this platform. Like I told you, right, I came in because I want to make money, just like most of us. But over the last 23 years, I realized that this is something that I did not expect. Right, something that I did not expect, because like most of us, we want to make money. So this is a good side effect of doing this skit after too long a period of time. Do you think this is a good side effect? Yes or no? Yes. So I couldn't imagine that I probably can make money if I do not choose this platform 23 years ago. Right? I think if I work hard, probably I can make money. But today, I think back, right, if I do not choose this platform, by the time I'm 51 years old, I shouldn't be looking this good, right? You all don't agree, yeah? Another 10 years will be 60 years. Look at Angela, right? Angela is 62 years old. Yesterday she was sharing with us, right? And when look at her past photo, I wouldn't think that, because I was the first one who know her out of every one of you, right? I don't think that she will look so fantastic, right? like what she is today. So if you ask me, right, the biggest benefits or something that I do not think of is that actually I benefit from our product. Right, I know the product was good when I first started, right? When someone pitched to me about all of the good, none of the bad, but I did not expect such a great transformation until I realized that as you grow older, you will appreciate better for our product technology. Thank you, New Skin, and thank you, H-Log. So that was when I first started, right? I did not involve in a lot of venture. In fact, the first career or first profession, or you call it entrepreneurship journey, right? In fact, I was involved in the insurance industry way back after I graduated from school. I think it's about 23, 24 years old. So I was in the industry for about 4 to 5 years. So that was the last photo that I took at the age of 27, 1999, right? Age 27. So if you look at me then, 27 years old. Can you imagine that if I continue that for the next 23, no, almost like another 27 or 28 years, I think I would look very different, right? So this is the photo recently that been just taken in our team lead trip, right? Just a couple of months ago. Through the New Skin platform over the last 23 years, right? Indeed, there is a lot of different. Am I right? Yes or no? Yeah, a lot of different, right? So this is my first team lead trip. I still remember. Hey, you don't laugh lah. If you want to laugh, don't laugh too loud. Okay? Right. I'm just showing all the ugly side. How ugly, how normal looking we are, how humble we were when we first started this journey. Just like every one of us, right? No different. Including for those of the new people who came in today, right? You may think that, wow, it seems like there are a lot of leaders over here, especially for last night, right? Everybody dressed so well, right? We were not like that, right? We were not like that. We were like that. Right, New Skin transform us. So after working hard, very hard for the first time, so come on, this is like 30 years old, you know. That was when I was 30 years old. So first team lead trip, you look at how we dress, right? Look at how swaku we are. You know, so this is my 23 years of qualified team lead. Last trip that we had, I think yesterday, Angela showed that too, right? And I still remember the first trip, we went together with Henry. And just this is part of the team that actually traveled together with us, right, in a couple of months of team lead trip. Can you see the great transformation over the last 20 over years? Yes or yes? Amazing, right? Right, so I don't think it's just about how much money do you make, but money being very important. But I think if you look at the whole energy, the whole aura, the whole outlook, the change of it, right? Because of this, the product technology, it amazed me. And I believe that there are a lot of people needs our product too, right? So if you ask me, right, that was about the outlook part. I know that many of you are more interested in the business part, right? The opportunity part. So I just want to show you, right, if you are my shareholders, I just want to present to you my report card, right? So as I understand about the business plan, right, I work very hard working on the plan, and I know that where's the next milestone for New Skin. So I chased very hard, worked very aggressively, right? I achieved my first milestone, right? Now we call it COE 1. In those days, we call it $1 million second members. I completed in 2 years plus, right? Plus or minus. Then it took me another 3 years plus to complete my 5 million. Another 5 years to complete my 10 million, right? Another 2 years, right, to grow from 10 million to become $20 million second members. So that was way back in 2012. So when I was preparing for the class, when I look at this graph again, oh my God, it's 10 years ago already. So basically, right, for the last 10 years, through this platform, I was financially free, right? I was not so active and so aggressive building the business like what I used to be, right, when I first started. But of course, I did not leave the environment because I loved the environment very much, right? I was more involved in the back end, mentoring and helping. And I always tell many of my friends or some of the people that I know, right? They know that I'm pretty successful in my business, and why am I so active, engaging in the business? I told them that I'm doing missionary work. Yeah, because we know about the New Skin, the mission, right? I do something that I feel that I'm so empowered. So that was my growth path, right? My own personal success story. Same as you. When you first started, you set your goal, right? You want to reach certain milestones so that we can have certain income, right? Nothing wrong with that with a personal success. But what surprised me, right? What amazed me about the part about this business platform, they can transform so many lives as you become successful. So this is actually our report card, right? After 20 years, as of August, right? Total 121 accounts, right? Including for myself, right? Of more than COE 1 qualifiers or winners being created. Isn't it amazing? Right? I think for most of us, what we would think of is like, I want to become successful. I want to become a millionaire. I want to become a multi-millionaire. We never thought of like, I want to help more people become millionaires. We never thought that I want to help many people become multi-millionaire. Yes or no? No, right? Right. So comparing with some of my friends who start up their business for 20 years, I doubt they have helped so many people to become multi-millionaires. Isn't it wonderful, right? So I'm not saying that how great I am. I'm just telling you that how great this platform is. Because your success is built on helping as many people as you can to become successful. Right? If you know how to count the number of millions commissions being paid out over the years, how many lives are being transformed? Right? Many lives. Basically, the real values of success is about ability to improve other people's life. Many people can be successful, but not many people can be significant, right? In all, we know that that's the apex of the hierarchy. But through New Skin, without me knowing it, just 23 years ago, right? I just want to make money. I work very hard on this platform, right? Because this is what requires me to do, to help more people to get healthier, better looking, right? At the same time, helping them to make money. But accidentally, right, I can become a significant force to many families. Through all these people who have helped transform their life, their family members become better, right? And most important, right, we all know that every millionaire or COE 1 in our business have transformed many people health. They move so many products in the organization, right? So that you realize that many people get healthier, more beautiful, and at the same time you realize that they have helped many people to make money at the same time. And most important thing, I think through last night, right, through our culture night, you probably witnessed it, it's more than like Southeast Asia, China, plus our Force for Good project and Nourish the Children, right? I can say that it's easily hundreds of thousands of children, life have been improved through us participating in this platform. Can we give this platform a 1 round of applause? Amazing, right? In fact, together, we can impact the world. I don't dare to use the word change the world because the change the world is too heavy for many of us, right? But I think that together, we can impact the world to become better. You agree with me? Right, so today you realize that over the next 2 days, right, through our product, through our opportunity platform, you know there is someone or there are a group of people, right, that actually through this platform help a lot of people have changed their life. That's our objective, right? Compared to you here, probably you see outside you hear, right, about, not so good side about industry. But today we want to demonstrate to you, in fact, there are a few good men. There are a few good people. There's a group of good people, right, Force for Good, in our industry. Well, if you ask me, right, what is the difference between the success in our business compared to a lot of other industry? We all know that every one of us want to make money. In fact, some people tell me that there's no big deal to become a millionaire in Singapore. Actually, true, right? Quite easy. And many people, you realize that if they own property in Singapore, probably that they make a lot of money too. Right? But I think I just want to let you understand the difference between wealth and rich. So this is the important key message that I want to deliver to you, right? There is a huge difference between wealth creation and richness, right? That means it's just money. So what is the difference between wealth and rich? Right? So basically, if someone has a high income, right, then they are often considered as rich. If someone has a lot of high value assets, then they are considered wealthy. So I want to ask you one question. Whatever job you are doing right now, are you just creating income over income, or your jobs or platforms allows you to build assets? Right, so this is something, a question that you can bring back to think about it. Some of you probably get confused, right? What do you mean by high income, this wealth and rich, right? I thought that money means money. I got money means I got money, right? In fact, you realize that high income doesn't mean that you are building wealth, right? Doesn't mean that. And one day, if you stop the ability to build high income, then that's it, right? So I just want to highlight to you something that probably you can understand or illustrate to you about what is assets, right? This is something that we are pretty familiar, okay? So you saw a lot of properties over here. Some are small property, some are huge building like Li Dian Ong, right? Li Dian Ong is tall, right? So many levels, very tall, right? Like a tall building. So you have many properties over here. So when we talk about the high value assets, you're probably more familiar, in the layman terms, we are more familiar with property. Am I right? Right, I think for you and your family members, most of the time you realize that when they make money, they think of investment, they think about holding assets, asset class. I think one of the major asset class that people will hold is property. Yes or no? Hello? You better don't fall asleep, huh? Because today my session is a lot of things. Yeah, it's a lot of things that you will need to digest. Okay, so I just want to read to you how our business model different compared to a lot of high-paying job outside. Right? If you look at this man that's wearing white shirt, red tie, this is not property agent. Right? It seems like he's promoting property. Right? Look at all the property available to us. No, he's not a property agent. Right? He's actually our system leader. Right? So in fact, you realize that so many properties. Right? Just want to check with you guys, right? I'm not sure some of you make money, you want to buy property. Do you know what's the motivation for you to buy property? What are the key motive for you to buy property? Most people do not know. Oh, because my father told me, if you got money, right, then buy property. Because property can hedge inflation. Right? So it's like passing down generation, people telling you, oh, property can make money. Right? So in fact, you realize that most of the time you realize that we never sit down and think about it, right? What is the key motivation for us to buy property? In fact, there are three key motives. Right, after I analyze, three key motives why people buy property, right? And this motivation has created such a huge demand for this industry. So three key motives. The first one is that means that they need to satisfy their own needs, right? Own needs. They need a place to stay. That means that they have a real demand for the product, for the property product, because they need to have a real place for them and for the family to stay. The second motive for people to buy property, after they have their first property, what they do is that they intend to rent it out. Right? When they rent it out, you realize that what they have? They have rental income. So minus off whatever their mortgage, they could potentially have a positive cash flow. Right? So the third motivation is basically you realize that they hope for a capital gain. They buy 1 million so that you realize that in years to come they can sell for 2 million. So they make a capital gain of 1 million. Are you following me right now? Right, it seems like a financial cost. But anyway, right, I just want to highlight to you that these are the key reasons why people buy property. Right? But in fact, you realize that for you to buy a property or own multiple portfolio of properties in the global, it's not easy. Right? You need to come out with cash, hard cash. In Singapore, you realize that you pay a lot of upfront tax, right, for you to own second property, third property. So in fact, this is probably one of the very difficult for you to acquire assets. But on the other hand, if you are building new scheme platform, right? Any new brand rep, right, that you acquire, you nurture, literally you realize that these are all property. And this property is appreciating property. You understand what I'm saying? Right? So if you relate human being as intellectual, because we know how to think, right? This is intellectual property. Right? And you have opportunity to own global property portfolio without any down payment, without any regulation, without any risk. And the best thing is you realize they self-maintained. Right? I have some properties that I couldn't rent it out. I have some properties, you realize that give me some trouble, right? You realize that you need to maintain. But you realize that today, by building New Skin Network, right, you own a global property, portfolio of properties, you have less headache, all you have is a cash flow. You love this? Yeah, so the earliest you understand about building assets and just getting a job to make a daily the money income is totally two different concepts. Well, this is a question I ask you, I pose to you, right? So there are some questions that I pose over here for you to go back and think about it, doing a review and reflection about your life, right? Are your current job a platform producing income or building assets? So are you owning a job or platform whereby as you are earning income at the same time building assets, right? If you are, you realize that you are maximizing, you are leveraging. So some of the concept, right, just want to share with you. As I build this business after 20 odd years, I benefit from it, I reflect, and I was asking myself, I'm such an ordinary background, right? Why should I deserve this? Is it because I'm smarter than the rest of the people? I don't think so, right? As I communicate with a lot of people outside, I realize that so many people were smarter than me, right? I find that I was lucky because I'm able to identify this powerful platform or this vehicle, right? We know about wealth creation. We know about wealth accumulation. We know about wealth preservation. In fact, I can tell you that by just wealth creation, it's already so difficult. Am I right? Right? So you probably can create some wealth, but you realize that you cannot accumulate the wealth. Right? You can accumulate wealth, you realize that you cannot preserve the wealth. What if could find a platform that includes 3-in-1 into one platform? Would it be exciting? Yes. Yeah, sometimes you realize that you probably make some money in your career, in your job, but you invest in the wrong place, you lose all your money. But today, if you start to understand what is the New Skin platform, it's a wealth creation, right? At the same time, you can accumulate. Then lastly, you realize that you can preserve the wealth, right? Why is this possible, right? There's reason behind it. The reason behind it is very simple, right? The 3 key success, right? Or I call it the 3 keys of, I want to introduce something new to you, a concept, right? I think this is totally new, nobody heard before. As I'm preparing for the slide, I talk about this wealth creation, accumulation, and preservation. I took the first letter word, right? It happens to be wealth cap, right? For those of you who invested in company, you look at the market cap, right? Market capitalization. So this is probably something, the new term that I come up with. What is your cap? What is the wealth cap index? That means that the 3 indicators that we have. Sorry, I hope I don't confuse every one of you over here. For those of you who are not in financial, but I just want to let you understand that, right? Why our business platform makes sense. Why do you see so many success stories on the stage, whereby you realize that many of them look so ordinary background, but yet they achieve success, right? So 3 key reasons, right, to success. The first one is leverage. The second one is compounding. The last one is residual concept. If you never heard about these 3 things before in your life, then you better wake up an idea, right? You really want to sit down and think about what is these 3 concepts is all about. If you ask me, right, all my results in this platform is because I totally understand these 3 concepts and the 3 effects that could potentially shape my future. Right, so what is these 3 concepts all about, right? The first one, what is leverage? Right, leverage is a powerful tool that can help anyone achieve success in their personal and professional life. It can amplify your efforts and multiply your results beyond what you could achieve on your own. So we start to think, right, we have 24 hours per day, 8 to 9 hours of work, right? If all your income are all very much directly related to your direct efforts, then you realize that there will be a very minimum income that you can make. Am I right? Right? So think about it, right? Are your current job or platform having any leverage without risk? I highlight the word risk because many times you all know, right? When you get involved in high leverage, that means if you borrow a lot of money, it comes with a lot of risk. Right? Literally, you cannot find any instrument, financial instrument, that has got high leverage without risk or no risk. All the businessmen, people who are building business today, right? If you want to expand the business to a bigger scale, you need to borrow more money. Right? As you borrow more money to build a bigger factories, bigger business, it comes with bigger risks. But today, what if there could be a platform that is highly rich but no risk? Right? All you need to do is to put your time and efforts building into it. So you can think about it, right? Your current platform allows you to do that, to have the kind of leverage effect. The second one is about power of compounding. Right? I think many of you know about compound interest. Right? Compound interest is the greatest discovery, according to one of the smartest men in the world, right? Einstein. He mentioned about that, right? So in fact, we all know compound interest and simple interest, the exponential growth, the effect, right, of compounding. So you can ask yourself the same thing, right? Is the compounding effect working for you or working against you? Working against you means what? If you have debts, you realize that if your debts have got compounding interest that you need to pay. For example, for the last couple of years, right? What happened is that interest rate go up. For some people, you realize that they commit themselves with a lot of properties. They have no means to pay for the property mortgage every month, monthly mortgage. They overcommit themselves. They lost their income. They cannot cover the mortgage. Am I right? Right? Because as the interest go up, you also experience the kind of compound interest, rate growth. That's how you realize that your mortgage could be double. It could be double that money payment. So that is working against you. But what if we have a business platform, right, that can help you to compound your income? Interest is cost. Income is revenue. That means that you can help to input your money, right? So some of you probably heard about snowball effect. Heard about it? Right? For those of you do investment or you heard about Warren Buffett, he mentioned about, probably I think he's the one who came up with this analogy about snowball effect. So he highlighted that there are two key things, right, for snowball effect to take effect. Right? The first one is that the snow must be wet. The second condition is the slope must be long enough so that you realize that the snow, right, because it's wet, it can stick, it can continue to grow even bigger. That's a snowball effect. So do you want to ask yourself, right, in your career, in your job, in your profession, where are the wet snow and the long slope? Or you every day just thinking, working very hard, right? Going to your office, working 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, come back, you realize you're very tired already. Let me explain to you that why today you've seen so many success stories in our platform. The two conditions over here, the wet snow. Right, so what is the wet snow in our business platform? It's our leadership bonus. Right, it's our extended levels of leadership bonus that allows you to have the kind of compounding effect. Right? The second condition about long slope, meaning that you realize that this business allows you to have long runway for you to accumulate. You understand? Right? So for those of you who are very rational, you want logic behind our business, right? I give you the answer. This is the reason, right? This is the main reason why this business works. Not just about the product. But of course, later I'm going to share with you why all this come together and this is possible. But that being said, if you have these two, right, you have the leadership plan. The second one, you have a long-term platform like Nu Skin. The most important one is you, right? You need to move. If the snowball don't move, it don't have a snowball effect. Understand what I'm saying? Right? So if you identify that, you realize that if you do nothing, you become snowman. You know, snowman never move, right? They sit there, you realize that snow, you realize that after that it gets bigger and fatter. Because why snowman? Because they never move, right? So snowball in moving action, that means they're taking action. That's how you realize that they have the kind of impact, right? So I just want to show you the same thing, just want to show you the report card, right? The compounding effect happens to my business, right? It took us 10 years, first 10 years, right, to create 12 COE accounts. But it only takes the next 10 years, right? The next 10 years, we create 92 accounts. Meaning that for the next 10 years, right, we created 80 accounts. So if you ask me, right, that what did I do? No, I did not input more money. I did not do any more capital injections, but you realize because of the platform allows you to have this kind of snowball effect. You get what I'm trying to say? Right? It's amazing, right? So ask yourself, are your current job and platform able to compound your income over time? If no, you're going to start to think about it. Right? From now, 5, 10, and 20 years down the road, right? If there's no compounding effect, there's no possibility. Right? So the third concept that I want you to understand is called residual concept. So what is residual? Right, residual describes what remains after most of the thing is gone. It literally means what is left over. Meaning that, right, we only have active years. For example, for most of us, after you come out from school, we're probably 23, 24 years old, right? When you probably, if you work by the time until 55 or 60 years old, you are made good for about 30 to 40 years. Active years of doing things. What after that? That means once you stop working, stop being active, what will happen to you? Right? For most of the job and profession that we did, you realize that many times we could potentially create more residual risks, works, services that don't pay you. Giving an example of my previous career, right? I'm not trying to bring down the industry, right? My previous career, right? As I want to scale my business, I accumulate more customers. As I accumulate more customers, I only have limited payment of commission. That means I get paid for 5 years. Or some products I get paid for 10 years. But as I want to expand my business, I acquire more customers. When I acquire more customers, do I need to service them? Yes, no. But I service them, the longer I service them, but I don't get paid. So when I don't get paid, means what? The service is a cost to me in terms of business. Right? So if you understand what I'm trying to say, if you don't understand, it's okay lah. It may be too profound. But if you do understand what I mean, right, then you understand the business totally. For some of the things, right, some of the creation in this world, there's some good residual income. For example, if you are talented, like Derek, all right, some of the very famous people, right, that you realize that they are able to create songs, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, right, these people are super talented, which is most of the time you realize they're not duplicable. But the family members are still collecting royalty bonus, royalty income from the one-time effort, right, that they do. But unfortunately, my family members don't have anyone can sing very well or can become that famous. So richly, you realize that for most of the people, right, our job and platform, right, do not create the kind of passive income, this residual income. So think about it, right? Are your current job or platform creating more residual income or risk when you are not around, when you are not active, right? If there is no such feature in your current platform, you probably need to rethink about the current platform, the platform that you have, because you will never get retired, right? You can retire, but probably you don't have income to sustain your lifestyle. So in conclusion, right, the front part I'm going to share with you, in conclusion, trying to understand what is time, what is money. So if you notice that the 3 questions I posed to you, right, I mentioned about time. Invest your time, invest wisely in your time. Did I mention that? This sentence actually repeated 3 to 4 times. So let me ask you one question. Is time more important than money, or time equals to money? Or both are important? Actually, technically, both are important, right? For those of people you realize that you don't have money yet, in fact, time is very precious. Give you an example, right? If you do not have any money today, or probably today you have some financial loss, you're out of job today. But if you can live 1,000 years, can you one day be rich? Yes! Right? Unfortunately, we cannot live until 1,000. Right? Our time is running out every day. every second. Am I right? That means that your productive days and hours are getting less and less. So when you are able to relook into time, in fact, it's more important than money. Why? Because every one of us got time. And God gives us equal number of hours every day, 24 hours. But for money, not everyone is on the equal ground. Some people have unfair advantage, right? When we just came out, they just born, they already probably inherited a lot of money. So time being equal, right? In fact, you realize that you need to understand that how do you able to invest your time in the right vehicle, a platform that use compounding effect, they have a residual impact, right? So this is something that you need to read into it. So if you ask me, the success that I have over here, not because I understand about age lock, not because I understand about new skin, that this is skincare. No. Actually, the reason why I'm relatively more successful about this business because on the first day I joined this platform, I totally understand about this thing. So I never have any doubts as I build the business. I never lose focus. I have some setback, I have some challenges because I have no skills, but because I understand that at the end of the tunnel, there is light. Sometimes you realize that as you go through the dark tunnel, you begin to be doubtful whether will you see light at the end of the corner. Am I right? Right. So some people you realize that U-turn, they goes back, but I'm very sure as I continue to drive through this tunnel, I will see the light. So that is the summarize of the business. So as I was preparing for this class, I talked to many people. They were asking me that about how many of you actually listened to my 5P before, the 5P recording, the classic one, right? That's pretty good. I don't have to go back and revisit because I cannot imagine what I talked last time. Right? The recording was developed in year 2001. So that is exactly almost like 9 months or almost a year after I built the business. Right? I came out of this sharing in one of the public classes. So this has been a very classic recording. Right? You can go back if you have the chance, right? Ask your referral, right, for this recording. So some people asking, right, is it timely for me right now at this moment to redo a new 5P, right, with the current market? Are you interested? I think only 3 of you interested already. Huh? If 3 of you interested, that means I finished my talk already. Because all the secrets are all here already. Right? I prepared because I think that there are some changes in the market, but actually as I prepared the slides, the fundamental of this business never changed. This is something that I love about this business. So on the second part, I'm going to share with you about a new 5P. No claps. But many of which you realize that you find it very familiar. What I mentioned about the effect, the 3 effects that you have, right? Eventually you realize that if you do not have the right platform, you can't do it. So let's go back to the first P, if you could recall. When I did the session way back 20 years ago, I talked about positioning. I'm not like those people who are doing direct selling or MLM. They're telling you that you can make a lot of money, get rich quick, right? How much millions you can make. No, right? That was way back 20 years ago, right? The lesson, the class was not means to convince people. The lesson is my understanding about the business. So I started off with positioning. I asked myself, if I'm capable, right? If I have a strong belief of myself, that means that wherever I go, I'm confident I can make money. So I started to ask myself, right? If I know I can make money, then the next question I should pose to myself is that what kind of money do I want to make? Of course, we want to make legal money. Recently in Singapore, we have some big cases about money laundering. Right? It's been alerted. It's a big hoo-ha in the whole world, right? So we want to make good money, right? Forceful good kind of money that do good to people. So I came to a conclusion for myself, right? For myself that I want to build a long term, so that in one day I get old, I get kind of residual impact, right? I want to build a stable, right? At the same time, I want to build a continuous, right, continual high income outcome. This is what I want. I'm not interested in doing new skin. I'm not interested in doing MLM. I'm not interested in doing direct selling. I'm not interested in selling skincare product. I'm not interested in selling weight loss product, right? What I'm interested in at the end of the road, when I'm 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, by participating, focusing on what I'm doing, what I can get. In other words, the same questions I want to pose to you. What's in it for you? Right? I think these are key questions. What's in it for you? Right? So I ask myself. I think truly for the last 3 years, because of COVID, right, we see the positive impact about our platform. I've seen that there are some of the people, right, they lost in terms of financial, and lucky because they are the other half are doing new skin, right, and they are able to support the family throughout this crisis. So in terms of emergency, then you know how powerful our business platform. Right, so that was my positioning on the first day. If you ask me, moving forward for the next 10, 20 years down the road, right, this never change. Because by having this kind of positioning, this kind of outcome, we will have freedom. Am I right? Right, we have all kinds of freedom, not just in terms of financial, we have a lot of mental freedom. Today you realize that mental stress has become a very, very popular, right? Not popular in the good sense, right? It's a very, mental sickness is getting more and more in our society because of stress, right? The second P, okay, sorry. The next thing, right, we talk about, this slide for those of you who are with us for many years, you've probably seen this graph many, many years, right? But I don't know how many of you actually understand about this. This is the graph again. It's not preparing a class. It's a graph that I wrote for myself, right? Because as I was making choices in my life, I was asking myself, what are the choices that I have, right? So for most people, you realize that they go into employment. For some people like me, we go to self-employed, right? For some people, you realize that they're more daring, more entrepreneurial, willing to bear risk, right? They go into conventional business, investing a lot of money, right? So these are the three options available in the marketplace, which I think this is not something that I want, right? If you look into long-term for 30 years, I'm only involved in the business for 23 years, right? I'm 52. I can make good for, another 20, 30 years easily, right? I want to benefit from it. So when I understand about this platform, the possibility that I can build this platform, right, to an infinity, right, to exponential growth. So what is the impact? You have this kind of result. Again, freedom, right? The freedom and the flexibility they have. So none of us today, if you ask me, right, including many people you realize at our front rows, this morning we see so many medical professionals involved in the business. None of us, it's not because that we have nothing to do or we cannot find a job, we have no profession outside, that's why we come and do new skin. No. Right? For those of us, for those people, you realize that if they are in SD, they know very well. They know that most of the platform and the job cannot help to get what they want at the end of the day, by the time they're 55 or 60 years old. So if you ask me today, right, is this graph still relevant? Yes, no. Yes. The fact that today, I think 90% of the population are still employees, they're on employment, meaning that you realize that we need to let them understand there are better alternatives. Right? There are choices whereby you realize that they can help to fulfill their dreams. So that was, I think, that the wisest choice that I make. Right? That's why I say that choice is more important than just pure hard work. Right? The second one, which talk about platform. Right? For those of you who listen to the recording, right? We talk about company. But I think over the years, what have changed about New Skin? They have grown bigger today, right? They have developed such a huge, more embracing platform that I think that, probably everyone's, it's easier for them to participate. So there are 5 key points in our platform, right? The first one, I don't have to explain too much. Next year, we celebrate 40 years old, right? So in 40 years, creating so many success stories, right? Created the most number of millionaires in the industry, right? If this is not proven, I think the rest of other companies don't need to do anymore, right? So proven track record, I think is very important and reliable. Second one, being global allows us to scale, right? As we scale, there's no risk-free. The third one, opportunity for all. This is rare, right? Very rare. As you join a business today, right? For some countries of legal age, 18 years old, they can start joining the business. They don't require you to have a degree. If you go for an interview, right, to certain job, whichever, you realize that they need to look into what you do in the past. Did anyone of you join Skin, you realize that they ask you for university degree one? Please send me your resume before you can start to become a brand rep. No, right? Is there any requirement or expiry age whereby you realize that, right, you can start to get involved in new scheme platform? Yes, no. No. If you are 90 years old, if you are keen, you can start the platform too. You can start the business also. If you compare to other jobs and other platforms, most of the time, there is restriction, right? That's why I find that it's wonderful, right? So it doesn't require to be a university graduate. That's why this morning you can hear some of the success story, right? They were not very educated, but people become successful, right? The fourth one, flexibility. I think flexibility has become a very important option for a lot of new generation today, right? They may not come here to just want to make money, right? They think more abundant, but they want the kind of flexibility, the kind of freedom. So in fact, I think mobility has become a very powerful features, right? Mobility means that you realize that literally you can work anytime, anywhere, right? I think one of our leaders, Pao Yan and Ellen, right? Pao Yan is here today joining us, flying all the way back from Melbourne. The whole family has migrated to Australia last year, right? So her business is not affected. New Skin business account, right? It's not affected. But for many professions, right? If you want to migrate to another country, you couldn't practice anymore. You're probably going to start from everything from zero. But today you realize that there's so much flexibility today. If you don't like this city, right? For those of you from China, right? If you don't like Shenzhen, if one day you realize that you decided to move to Chengdu, you can easily move, transit to Chengdu, right? Your business is together with you. Isn't it wonderful? I can tell you that it seems like a luxury, for many people, right? Another one is about transferable, right? Transferable is something that is also very unique. For most of the job position, right, in the marketplace, if you're an accountant, right, it's a profession. If your children is not accountant by practice, you cannot transfer the business to them. Correct? Because they don't have the qualification. Right? But for our business, you realize that interestingly that, right, you build the business, the account that you have with New Skin. When you join the business, you realize that you establish an account with them, relationship. This account can be transferable to anyone. It can be in the form of gift, right? Gifting, or in the form of realize asset transfer, right, to your next generation. This is almost impossible or unheard of in any job. Right? If you are a CEO of a public listed company, if you step down, right, unless you're the boss, if you're not the owner, if you're just a professional manager, right, you can tell your boss, I work for you 30 years. I expand from Malaysia, Singapore, I expand to the whole world. My son, 21 years old, already adult. Can my son take over the CEO of the company? Yes, no. New Skin allows you to take over the COE. Right, COE 1, COE 2, COE 3. Right, that's a transferable. I think it's very unique, right? It's very hard for you to find this kind of feature. The last one, right, innovators DNA. Right, I think this is something that important, right? Some of things that we cannot understand, but innovators means that you realize that they are visionary, they are market leader. They start to plan ahead for the next 5, 10, and 20 years. They see the trend, right? They started to build some infrastructures to support us in our business growth. So basically, right, this slides illustrate that most of the risks of the traditional business are borne by the platform. right? We only need to do two things: marketing of products and marketing of business opportunity, right? In any business, all are cost centers. Only two things bring in revenue: sales and marketing. So I explain to you why most businesses fail. Because as they bring in revenue, they need to take care of a lot of other cost centers. So when the cost centers goes up multiple times to service their business growth, if they cannot do that, manage it well, then the business collapse. So this is the reason why that most of the time company fails. Not because the company is big size or small size. Many times the big size one is even more dangerous, more risky, right? Because they have more commitment and high cost. Right? Just want to share a little bit about this innovator's DNA, which I think that is going to affect your business for the next 10 years. Right? Whatever you attend today for the last next 1 day or so, or what you see is the past. Right? It's just like an annual report presented to you. Right? What you want to know is that if I decided to work hard today, what will happen 10 and 20 years down the road for me and for my family? So the innovator's DNA in the company is very important. So our founding was based on innovation, right? We always wanted to be 10 steps ahead of everyone else. So recent years, right, about last 2 years, we heard a lot about Empower Me, right? A lot of things about Empower Me. You may not understand. Tell you frankly, until today, I still cannot understand. Right? But it doesn't stop me from making money, right? But as I look into this thing, right, the heavy investment the company has got, right, more than 100 million invested, and there will be more money pouring in to build up the infrastructures, the support infrastructures, and at the same time, right, that some of the things that they're trying to do, you do understand, right? Let me share with you something over here that's very simple. You probably understand better. I still remember that when I first started the business, right, I heard that, New Skin invested in a satellite computer system, $100 million, that allows them to be able to build a global seamless compensation plan, allowing the US distributors to expand their business globally. I heard that. But I don't have the kind of impact. I don't have the kind of impact because I don't know what it means, right? But can you imagine that if New Skin at the point of time did not invest in this, can the US distributor build a global business? Yes or no? No. Because of the infrastructure allows them to enable the distributors to build a global business. In fact, right, we are so innovative that we are the first company to go global seamless about our business, right? So what is this Empower Me all about? Right? I don't want you to go and research what is Empower Me. I just want to give you understanding about. Any one of you know about this company called Apple? Yes or no? How many of you use Apple for more than 10 years already? Yeah, I think you were like me, right? So if you know that when they launched the Apple, you think that it's just another digital phone, right? But today, if you know why Apple became the most profitable company, because they have a very strong, closed ecosystem. They call it iOS, right? The operating system, which links and connect all their devices and their products and services, right? The iTunes, the Apple Watch, right? Apple computer, right? iPad, and they are able to connect immediately and transfer the data very fast. How many of us know that 10 years ago, when we buy a handphone, we do not know. We just want to buy a handphone. Today in the marketplace, there are a lot of companies selling handphones, but there are very few companies that own operating system. Hello, are you here? You heard about Oppo, you heard about Vivo, you heard about this Sony, right? All these companies, but you realize that very few. What are we trying to do today in the wellness industry? There are a lot of skincare brands in the market. There are a lot of healthcare brands in the market. Just like there are a lot of handphone brands in the market. But no single company is building a closed loop ecosystem that enable their customers in the future, right, to have a better experience, and the builders easier for them to connect with their customers. Isn't it wonderful? So if you understand the direction, right? If you understand the direction, you know this is going to serve my future generation of builders. It may not affect me right now in our business, right? Business as normal, but I know in for sure, right? By the time 10 years later, most of my generation, the new generation of people, they are all connected through digital. And we are the only company right now, not MLM company. We are the only one company that is willing to invest so much money in building up this ecosystem for the future. So you are not in a hurry to understand what is this all about. You don't have to understand. But in fact, Eveline said, I can tell you that in the early phase, right, there will be a lot of hiccups when you build up something that's new, right, the infrastructure. Just like when you build out a house, you want to build a big house, it takes a long period of time. Sometimes renovation, you think they're not very nice, you want to adjust a little bit, right? Sometimes you realize that you put the furniture, this is not fitting, you want to buy again. But I want to understand that 10 and 20 years from now, right? Unless you're telling me that, no, Rayne, I'm just wanting to do this business for 2 or 3 years. 2 and 3 years, you go out and find a job, right? If you are looking for a solution or income, just for 2 to 3 years, you go out and find a job. But if you want to look for something, right, they get paid off handsomely, over time, right, and you don't have to worry anymore, then you realize that this is something that you realize that you need to think about. So I'm glad today that I don't totally know about the details about IoT, about all these things, but I know this is powerful. And I'm going to benefit, my future business is going to benefit from this. Are you excited about this? Yes or no? Yes. If you think about so many companies selling handphone, nobody is able to do that except Apple and Google. Google has got Android system. Huawei recently, right, the market has got a lot of buzz about Huawei. Why? Because they created their own operating system called Harmony, right? They call it a Harmony OS, right? So they thought about this also, right? They just started to invest, right? So none of the company, wellness company is doing this. I just feel that just too amazing, right? Just incredible. So if you think that New Skin is just an MLM company, I think that you really do not understand what is New Skin all about, right? The third P is about product. Okay, product, I think 5 very important points. Repeat consumables, which allows you to have regular business, right? Not just one time. If you are selling furniture, touch wood, if you're selling coffin, once in a lifetime. Right? Only one time. No return back customers. Right? But if you're selling the highly consumable product, you realize as long as the products are good, they keep coming back. It means that you have renewable business, you have renewable income. Broad range of inside-out solution, which you realize that we take care of inside and outside, not just particular healthcare or skincare or personal care, but you realize that it's all inclusive. Meaning what? Multiple streams of income, right? More opportunities, right? More stories for you to connect in the marketplace. Safe and effective, right? Many times you realize when we talk about effective, sometimes we worry about safety. But today you realize that as our products are safe, right, they are effective, then it's going to be very powerful, right? Unique patented technology, meaning that it's exclusive. It's like a monopoly business. I can tell you that in the marketplace, there are a lot of MLM companies, actually, they have no patented technology. They will just copycat, right, but they are not unique. The last one, right, innovative through world-class R&D team. That's for future innovation. So these are some of the scientists, right, all the established scientists, our research team, and our research center, right? And really, we have a lot of scientific papers, oral presentation, awards, right? Patents, or some of the patent pending. It's all the company's assets that we have, right? I don't know, we are so lucky to be able to partner with this kind of company. And we have 2 times, right, the only company and 2 times being featured in Discovery Channel. This is about the past, a legacy of innovative product from 1984 until today, right? The future pipelines, we still have a strong pipelines of groundbreaking products, right, that we are preparing for the future. Like I say, you may not understand right now. This is not for you to understand, right? This is all under our pipeline. Well, the next one, I want to talk about a little bit about plan, right? Because plans is a rewards, financial rewards, right? So I look into plan very different compared to a lot of people who are doing direct selling, looking into a plan. They'll start to talk about, the plan in details, right? But for me, I'm more macro, right? I want to know the direction, right? So basically, you realize that how do I look into plan? The first one, proven track record. Because I do not want to work for a period of time, I don't get anything anymore. The company collapses. Which you have seen it so many. You know why there are a lot of bad mouths regarding about industry? There's just too many black sheep. It's under-regulated, right? And most ignorant people, public, you realize that they cannot differentiate. They don't understand. They lump it all together under MLM, right? So the second one, right, global, borderless, and seamless. Literally, on the country that you started, you can go to a lot of countries. The third one, unlimited income potential. There's no cap in your income, right? Literally, you realize that if you want to build the business, nobody can stop you. But there are some jobs, you realize that there's always a cap, no matter how hard you work, right? If you want to get promotion up, many times you realize that there's only one position, CEO. If you are as capable, you have no position to fill. Okay? Of course, we have this, the fourth one, legacy income. That means that you can build a legacy for yourself, for your family. But the last one, right, which is something that very interesting, fulfill all the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Those of you that have studied management before, right, probably you heard about Maslow hierarchy of needs. If you do not understand, if you never study, now it's very easy. Whether you go to Google or whichever, you can search easily what it means, right? Basically, it defines all the needs a human being needs. Just want a quick check over here. Am I speaking to human being today? So human being need to respond, right? I'm not. So if we are human being, right, we need to understand, right? Sometimes you realize that we need to understand what are the needs of human being. So I learned from Maslow hierarchy of needs. I understand that in fact, right, there are some of the things that every human being needs. But how can I find a platform that fits all? I don't have so many times to go to find different avenues to satisfy individual needs. It's too tiring. Right? Sometimes I make the wrong choices. But if I can find one platform fits it all, then it saves a lot of time. Right? So basically, plan doesn't mean rewards program. Plan doesn't mean a compensation plan. Plan means that what is your plan? Whatever you are doing right now, right? The job, what is your plan for your future? If you continue to do what you're doing right now, right? So some people are just busy, right, building a successful career, right? But have you ever asked yourself, right, whatever job, career you are building, is it able to carry forward? Right, so this is something about legacy income. I did mention about Maslow hierarchy of needs. Right, I have no time to go through everything of this. If you are interested, go Google it. Right, these are extended levels of Maslow hierarchy of needs. Right, increase the aesthetic needs. Right, and at the same time, cognitive needs, people changing. Aesthetic means that people want to look good today. Right, so that means that our business are good. Right, so if you are a human being, chances are, these are some of the needs that we need. I can tell you that by just participating in New Skin, all needs are all under one roof in this platform. It makes your job so easy. So if you ask me today, right, why I'm still actively sharing, that is called self-actualization needs. Right? But if you ask me 23 years ago, why am I doing New Skin? I'm looking for basic needs. Right? For some of you, you realize that we want recognition. We want a kind of fellowship. So these are all the needs. So unless you're not a human being, then you're not suitable for this plan. Right? If you are suitable in this plan, you realize that, right? If you are a human being, you realize that this is a very powerful plan that includes all. The last one, right? The last P is called proven system. So basically, right, I think we have a good track record for the last 23 years. For most of the MLM business, right, you probably heard them, your friends joining MIM, they do for a few months, they're gone. Right? Probably they do for 2 to 3 years, they're gone. But literally, I can safely say that in this region, right, none do more than 20 years like us. Not only one. Right? Many examples I can quote you. Right? Track records, right? Duplicable model and processes, business support tools, right? And we have, of course, our business product events and convention, coaching and mentoring from industry, our elite leaders. That means that experienced leaders, they have established themselves, they come back to the community to share with every one of us, right? So we have this proven system that created a lot of success stories, not able to be duplicated. We have a comprehensive training program, right? We even develop a STU program for personal development and leadership development, right? In fact, I traveled to US just before COVID in 2019, right? We went to MIT, went to West Point, right? And trying to do our EMBA program, for our top leaders, our COE leaders and above. We almost launched it in year 2020, but because of COVID, we canceled it. But, I'm really looking forward that we are able to do it for the next few years, right? Why are we doing this? So when we first started, right, when I saw the vision, the possibility, I asked myself, what is the weakness of our industry? Right? I study economics, I major in economics, so I always ask myself, it's about demand and supply, right? The supply side is so good, but why is it that the demand side, people don't understand, right? Definitely it's not because of product, because of the platform. It's people don't understand, so they need education. So we have the vision to professionalize the industry, right? In all industries, it's the same thing today. We realize that, right? Professionalism, right? Make yourself stand out. So this is what we do in ST since the first day. So what you see today is because the vision that we have, right? So next, the last one, you have 5 P, but today I give you 1 P, one more P. You want? Potential. Right? Some people ask me, you joined the business 22 years ago. Are there still opportunities today? Usually when people ask these kind of questions are smart people. And I especially love smart people. Because on the first day I joined this business, I asked the same question. Right? I don't want to be like 20 years later, nobody is interested in the opportunity anymore. I don't believe that I'm the smartest in the world. I believe that in generations to come, there are more people that are smarter than me. I want to solve the mystery, the myth. Right? So in fact, why I say that today, the business is still relevant. Right? So what is the potential? The global connectivity. 40 years ago, right, 1984, in the 80s, I always think, how could the pioneering leaders in the US do Nu Skin? No handphone, right? They probably have a desk phone at home, right? Probably cost you a lot of money for you to build international business. The cost is very high. How can they build? We always think that we want to become pioneers. If I can join early, wow, I will make a lot of money. But have you traveled back and think about it, right? If you were then in the 80s, you are in US, you know about the business, you want to build Asia business, you want to make phone calls, right, to your Asian friends or whichever, telling you about Nu Skin. You want to travel, the cost is going to be very high, super high. You think it's easier to build a business 40 years ago or now? Right? With the global connectivity through social media today, through WhatsApp call, WeChat call, all these are free costs, no cost. Right? The fast connectivity today, you realize that it will change the game of the industry. Meaning what? Right? The people who are hungry today in these generations, if you saw this plan and they become very aggressive, they will overtake all the pioneers leaders, all the people who do the business before them. 100% guarantee. It's just like what? It's just like you are riding on a better and faster vehicle. That's it. So I don't believe that, right, I don't believe that I'm the smartest. I believe that in this room, there are a lot of people who are smarter than me, right, at this moment of time, by leveraging on these revolution tools that we have today. They're able to reach out to the global in a faster way compared to many of our pioneers. You know, in those days when I'm building the business, we don't have so-called WhatsApp, WeChat, we don't have that. Making one phone call costs a lot of money. One SMS, right, message, 60 cents Singapore. You know how costly to build a business? Today, literally, lots of messages are being sent to WhatsApp, WeChat account. It's all free, right? Lots of opportunity, right, for this new generation. If you're interested in new market, right, India is one of the very big market, 1.3 billion population. It's untapped, right? It's not open yet. If you ask me, right, if you're looking for something long-term, this will come. If you ask me when, I don't know. Right? Vision means that you realize that you must have a foresight to see for the next 5 and 10 years. Right? These are available opportunities. In fact, you can revisit a lot of our existing market, right? For recent year, for the last couple of years, right? ST leaders have revisited some of our existing market like Australia, Pacific region, right? We have some Vietnamese community expanding in the Australia market. We have some Malaysian community expanding in also Australia market. So in fact, with just existing markets, there are a lot of renewed opportunities. The second trend is gig economy. So what is gig economy? If you don't understand, never mind, right? So I just want to explain to you some of the features of gig economy. Flexibility. The new generation today, right, you realize that they don't want to have a fixed job. They want flexibility. In fact, gig is a new word for the last couple of years. But if you ask me, new skin, many of us started on a part-time gig. Mr. Chua started on a part-time gig. He was still an accountant then, right? Part-time, right? Many of you realize that you started on a part-time gig with new skin. In the past, we don't know what is gig. But today you realize that what gig means, that you realize that, hey, money not enough, right? They want to find a new opportunity. Some of the gig, some of the job don't allow them to. But this job allows them to. So if you ask me, as gig economy, that means the demand for flexibility increase. There'll be more people looking for the kind of choice. We just need to connect with them to let them understand. If you drive Grab, or in China called TT Toucher, right? That means that you become a TT driver. It's also a gig job. But once you stop working, you don't have income anymore. But in New Skin, you can build up on a part-time, right? Once you build it up, you get the benefit for the lifetime. So this is something that is very common today. The next one, right, wellness industry. So wellness industry, I think we all know after COVID crisis, right, a lot of people need health products. So how big is this industry? If you look at the numbers today, right, global wellness economy is 4.4 trillion in 2020. By 2025, which is 2 years from now, how much is going to cost? How much is the potential? 7 trillion. And if you look at the two biggest components, right, the nutrition and the weight loss and the personal beauty is the biggest number. So what are we doing today in this skin? Right, this is not by me. These are all by the research, the NRE research, right? So this is a booming industry. The next one, right, silver tsunami. So what silver tsunami means, right? Unprecedented increase in the number of older people in the world. In other words, this is a very nice word, right? In other words, aging population. That means that there are more people getting older, right? So getting older doesn't mean getting more useless, right? Most of the time when people talk about aging population, they want to sell products for aging people. Nothing wrong, like wellness product, health products, there's a huge demand. But what is more important thing that a lot of people never thought of, right? This is unutilized resources in the society. They may be retired at 55 years old, 60 years old, but doesn't mean that they have no productivity. They have no skills. They have no relevant skill. They have no ability. They have a lot of professional skill, but they have no platform. Right? They have no platform. They are asked to retire. They have no more stage. Right? If we are able to offer an opportunity for this group of people and make them useful again, we potentially can create a lot of opportunity for them. Yes or no? Yeah. And huge group of people and the big population. Right? There are not much available option for them. Right? So projected, the Asia Pacific silver economy, just Asia Pacific, projected value by 2025, 4.56 trillion. Yeah, This is just a consumption, but the people who are working, not working, is a lot more, right? The last one, women empowerment, right? When we talk about women empowerment, a lot of men started to like, wow, the rise of the woman power. Sounds so scary, right? Don't get worried. If you understand about the three concepts I share with you, right? Remember the first one is what? Leverage. If women become more powerful, we just leverage on them. Why do you feel a threat? Right? If you feel a threat means that you are MCP. Right? That means that you're feeling too insecure about yourself. Right? I think as a man, as a gentleman, we shouldn't feel too inferior that women are getting stronger. In fact, we should feel proud because empowered women, right? They can help, they can help, right, transform a lot of people's life. Because the soft influence of women, right, as you can see also in our platform, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs are creating a lot of good results, right? I want to show you by numbers because sometimes some of you don't believe me what I say, right? I'll show you some interesting numbers, right? For those of you who like numbers and statistics. Mention that working age population in the workforce, right? The boost to the global annual GDP by 2025, right? If women play an identical role to men in the labor markets. Meaning what? Meaning, if we are able to utilize or empower, right, women to raise up, to take up more position, in the marketplace, potentially they can contribute how much? 28 trillion additional in the marketplace. Amazing. It's even bigger than all the industry I mentioned. So if your left side and the right side and in front of you are women, say thank you to them. Yeah, because they're going to change, right? They're going to change the world. Happy woman, right, is happy husband also. So this is the last slide. So, how can I get started? Right? How can I get started? Right? Our business, you realize that doesn't require you to invest a lot of money. Right? Invest in yourself first. Start on our products, right? To get more healthy, to slim down, to look good. Right? In fact, after which, what you do is that start building your network of consumers by sharing, right, our fantastic product and sharing our opportunity, right, to get more business partners. The key thing is the word now. Okay? So why I say now? Some people say, can I wait? The best time to plant a tree was? The best time was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, like me, right? The best time. Right? The second best time is when? Now. So if you totally understand what I share with you this afternoon, I think you cannot sit anymore. Right? This is definitely the best platform and the best timing right now. In case you have any doubts, ask yourself one more question to go, right, before I get off the stage. If you continue to do what you are doing now, what will happen to you for the next 3, 5, 10, 20, and 30 years down the road? Okay, see you guys. My name is Rayne. Thank you.
Thank you.